monumental effort by our defense. To hold the #1 team in the country to 10 points in regulation is something to be very, very proud of on that side of the football. We got to help them more on offense. You know, I'm looking at this 3 of 17 on 3rd down, and obviously the turnover there at the end. We've got to fix what's wrong on the offense, and you know, we have flashes, and we're definitely not consistent enough. And so the only way I know how to do it, you know, I told our guys all week after the loss to Oklahoma that we were close, and that close is a lot better than the alternative, because we've been a part, they've been a part of teams that were far away, and you know it when they are. This one's not. This one's really close, and I don't know when, you know, we're going to break through that barrier. I thought it was going to be this week. We had an unbelievable week of preparation. The guys were focused and ready to go, but it wasn't. And so we've got an opportunity to send these seniors out with a bowl game, and something they haven't had in the last 2 years. And we're going to do everything possible to go on the road against Baylor this week and go be 1-0 in Waco. Questions?
Tom, it looked like, just from watching some replays, it looked like that Sam thought maybe Gerard and Dorian were going to converge there in the end, or both go after it. What did Sam tell you?
I haven't asked him yet.
What was supposed to happen?
We were supposed to throw it in the flat, you know, on 5 steps, get it out as a little sprint pass, throw it to the flat with a little slant flat versus man coverage, and for whatever reason he didn't throw it early to the flat, so he's scrambling around, and obviously in that situation with only needing a field goal, we need to throw the ball away.
You know, we talked about the effort that you guys put forth, but still, though, all the self-inflicted wounds out there. You know, Denzel missed a block that ruined a possession. You had Cade with a holding penalty, and then what happened on specifically the running the guy on the field on the punt return that gave OSU a first down? We were in a different personnel on defense, and our punt safe is out of nickel personnel. We were not in nickel. We were in a different personnel, and so we ran nickel in to be in punt safe, and we had a guy not get the call. I had already clicked over to the offense, and the defensive guys in the box were trying to scream at me to either call a timeout or get him off the field, and I wasn't on the headset, and they threw the flag. I'm not sure why we didn't get the timeout. We tried to call timeout before the ball was snapped, and they didn't give it to us, but we didn't get the signal that nickel personnel was going in the game.
Coach, you're obviously visibly upset about this. I mean, how do you keep the kids focused? Because they're as upset as you are about this. I mean, are they with you, Coach? Are you okay?
Oh yeah. No, they're as hurt as I am. That's a good thing. It means they're invested. It means they're not used to losing. They don't. They're unaccepting of losing, and that's really, really good. So I don't think there'll be, this team hasn't wavered one bit. They had plenty of opportunities to jump ship, and they haven't yet. And like I said, we've got a chance to achieve something that hasn't been done here in a few years, and it starts this week in preparation for Baylor, and I have no doubt in my mind that our guys will wake up tomorrow ready to go to work again.
Coach, with all that said, 2 Big 12 losses, do you even keep the carrot of there's parity in this league that 2 could get it done, or it sounds like you're talking more about bowls right now?
No, I'm talking about that's really the big picture right now. But you know, when we get to work tomorrow, it'll be beat Baylor. I mean, that's the only goal that we need to have right now. That's to win the next one.
Front left, Kirk.
Tom, were you running a lot of 5 and 6 in the box and too deep to keep him from passing, and they kind of took the bait and ran, and your defense was up to it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a heck of a game plan, a heck of an execution of that game plan by our players and defensive staff. You know, we knew we needed to stop the pass, which is a bit unconventional, obviously, but we've figured we've got enough athletes, and obviously you saw the different personnel that we had on the field, that when they decided to run, that we could get off blocks and didn't need the extra hat, as you say, in the run game, that we were going to commit the extra hat to the throw game and get off blocks and rally, and we knew we were going to give up some yards on the ground, but you know, as long as we got them down, we lived to play another down, and they did that. I mean, there's not a better embodiment of hard-playing defense than the huge play there towards the end of the game when our guy fell down. Their guy's wide open. We chase it down. We get him on the ground, and they get 1st and goal from the 1, and we hold them to a field goal. That's big-time defense. And, you know, there's a lot to take away from the way that we played on defense today.
Well, Tom, do you think Sam tries to be perfect at times because he's such a playmaker at heart? And how do you lighten the load? Because he's obviously got a lot of responsibilities in that offense.
Yeah, I think there was a definite thinking too much, trying too hard. And, you know, Sam's a really football smart guy. But, you know, when you're out there and you're thinking, that's not a good thing. So the only way, you know, we condensed quite a bit of the offense this week, and obviously thought we had a good plan, and we didn't go out there and do it as well as we had planned. But I think you just got to keep simplifying it for a young quarterback and repping the ever-living heck out of plays versus everything that you might see.
Tom, you said earlier that this team feels close, but they haven't obviously broken through that barrier yet. In your mind, what is preventing them from breaking through?
Well, as I said last week, it's definitely not effort. I think the effort, the intensity, the physicality, and the togetherness, accountability is palpable on this team, and that's step number 1. Step number 2 is we've got to go out and do our job with laser-like focus every single time the ball is snapped. And in order to do that, we've got to be confident. In order to do that, we've got to be sure of what we're doing. And, you know, that's where, especially offensively, comes into, I don't know, maybe it's 3 runs and 4 passes that you carry in the whole game, and and you game plan for what you believe you're going to see, and you rep the heck out of it, because we're not a confident group on that side of the ball, and we need to play much better there for us to continue to, or for us to win some games here down the stretch.
Just a 2-part question on Sam. Did that 34-yard loss and the way he went back and got the ball and that fumble, did that kind of tell you everything, kind of a basic explanation of what Sam Ehlinger really is? And then second, just what does he need to do in these last 5 games to take that next step as a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, the guy is a fighter, and that's really good. You can work with a guy with the personality that he has, and I just, the biggest thing is trust in what he sees. I think even when he is making some throws, making some plays, he's a half second too late because he's making sure. And he's got to trust himself, trust the scheme, trust the offense, and let her rip, when things are there for him.
I'll go 2 last questions on left end. Tom, in the fourth quarter, Chris had a run about 15 yards, and you guys threw it the next play, and it went incomplete. Do you feel you guys may have gone away from the run a little too quickly there? And what were your overall impressions of the run game tonight?
No, I didn't. That was a check into blitz, so it was a really good check. So the next time that we snapped the ball, they weren't in that defense and that blitz, and so the run game is not good right now, and we need to get the right people in there and rep the right plays and continue to get our guys better. Patrick Vahe was sick, woke up this morning vomiting and with a stomach bug, so he didn't play the first half. So we've got a lot of work to do in the run game, and we got to figure out what we can do before we figure out what we should do.
Coach, obviously offense is kind of your wheelhouse, and that's what you were known for before you got here. How frustrating is it for you personally that the offense isn't clicking? And I would like to know if you feel like Tim Beck is doing enough, because I know you've mentioned how other players have done. Is he doing enough, or do you want to see more out of him?
It's very frustrating to answer your first part. I take a lot of responsibility for that. Tim's doing fine. Tim is, I hired Tim because he's very, very capable of doing this job, and he's got a big task ahead of him. We've got a big task ahead of us to right the ship on that side of the ball. And there's no doubt in my mind that him and the offensive staff that's in that room, along with myself, are the right guys to get that done. Frustrated that it hasn't happened yet, certainly. But I can promise you this, it's not for a lack of trying, and it's not for a lack of ability in that staff room.